all over some chicken nuggets. You know, that cloud went away.
It was Jesse Miller who had the motive to kill Nicholas McGrath because he was upset because Nicholas McGrath basically told one of the supervisors that he was stealing money from the cash register.
But what is your message to the victim's family? Obviously, they left very emotional.
Oh my God.
The prosecutor talked about how the victim was bound to a chair inside the mall food court and shot execution style.
I don't know what to say to him, you know? I feel bad for what happened to Nick, true enough, you know, but I don't know.
Well, it has been almost 15 years since a Chick-Fil-A employee was murdered inside what used to be the Palm Beach Mall. Today, his accused killer appeared in court.
I don't know what to say to the victim family because I'm innocent, you know, true enough. And
when you get to thinking about Chick-fil-A, you have positive thoughts. You think about delicious chicken sandwiches, great customer service. Hell, you even think about heroic attempts.
Chick-fil-A employee being held a hero after tackling a suspected carjacker right in the restaurant's parking lot.
Wrestling on the pavement, you see this Chick-fil-A employee in the red shirt tackled the suspect, stopping him in the act.
One thing you don't think about is the negativity. You wouldn't even think a place like Chick-fil-A is associated with the word negativity. But hey, unfortunately, there's a dark side to everything.
A dispute over a milkshake order brought police out to this Adams Avenue Chick-fil-A when a disgruntled customer whom investigators say was driving for DoorDash lost his cool and fired a single shot at the store. .40 caliber shot hit a team leader with the fast food restaurant in the leg. The argument started when only one milkshake was included in the order. The shooter was demanding a second, according to police.
One of the reasons why Chick-fil-A wants all their employees to look and act like Disney characters is because Chick-fil-A started off hiring bad apples. They were hiring people that were qualified to work at the Waffle House and Popeyes.
It's just another night at a Waffle House, with all hell breaking loose at a Texas Waffle House after workers yelled for this group of customers to leave. But instead, one customer climbs on the counter, one worker later throwing a coffee pot at her, things are flinging, people are falling. It evolves into an all-out punching match. Everyone else is filming on their phones and egging it on, otherwise known as a regular night at a Waffle House.
They was hiring people who was about that life. They was hiring people who was really living like that. Savages and chicken sandwiches don't go together. Waffle fries and heathens have never mixed well. When you put heroes and villains on the same shift with each other, things will never go smooth like butter. It will always be rough as hell, and Chick-fil-A had to find out the hard way. No homo.
Nick McGrath was found shot dead inside the Chick-fil-A at the old Palm Beach Mall back in 1999, where the two once worked together. Prosecutors say Miller carried out the murder over a long-standing grudge between the two.
You see, back in 1999, Jesse Miller was down on his luck. He was broke as hell, behind on rent and child support, and his girlfriend just left him. So one night, Jesse said this: "I'm tired of life whooping my ass. I need a break. A quick little come up to make me feel a little bit better about my life." So one day, as he was making chicken sandwiches for the starving customers, he couldn't help but notice the cash register was open. He seen an opportunity to get a wad of cash, so he took that opportunity. He stopped making them chicken sandwiches, snuck by the cash register, grabbed a handful of cash like it was a handful of ass.
Because Nicholas McGrath basically told one of the supervisors that he was stealing money from the cash register, and that eventually led him to get demoted and later fired.
Nicholas McGrath caught Jesse red-handed. Hey, what the hell are you doing? I know you don't call yourself stealing from Chick-fil-A. Man, listen. Times are hard. I'm broke as hell, behind on child support. Car just got repoed. I'm about to get evicted, and these weak ass Chick-fil-A checks ain't cutting it, Nicholas. I gotta do what I gotta do. I ain't trying to hear that, Jesse. I'm telling on you first thing in the morning. Jesse, your ass is grass. Pack it up and get in the unemployment line, you damn jigaboo. Nicholas got Jesse fired immediately, and that just made Jesse already terrible situation even worse.
Just got off, they just fired me. I'm trespassing. You have to show me in black and white where I'm trespassing.
Good, thank you very much. Video that you told me that you don't want her back here. Should be trespassed, okay? Thank you, officer.
Don't bring your ass out here. The wrong with you. Come on, lay you hoes the out.
Now you're threatening.
No, I'm not.
Jesse was mad as hell about that. He thought him and Nicholas was cool like that. He thought they was boys. He thought Nicholas was his dog. But Nicholas said, hell nah, get your ass underneath this bus. Jesse was heartbroken that Nicholas threw him under the bus. He couldn't believe it.
Cause I'll lay you hoes the out.
Now you're threatening.
No, I'm not.
That sadness turned into anger. And that anger motivated Jesse to get revenge on Nicholas.
Cause I'll lay you hoes the out.
Now you're threatening.
No, I'm not.
So one night when Nicholas was closing down the restaurant, putting up hamburger buns, adding herbs and spices to the chicken patties for the afternoon shift tomorrow, he heard a creak, then he heard a crack. Somebody done broke into the restaurant. They had a blicky and duct tape. The man that broke in hog-tied Nicholas up with the duct tape and got busy with the blicky.
At the Palm Beach Lakes Mall, Chick-Fil-A. In closing arguments this morning, the prosecutor talked about how the victim was bound to a chair inside the mall food court and shot execution style. The victim's family has been in court.
It's safe to say that Jesse got his sweet revenge on Nicholas for making him lose his job. And not only did Jesse get his sweet revenge, but he also got off scotch-free with the court of law.
Jesse Miller's not guilty verdict literally coming within the last 20 minutes. A 15-year-long murder battle, a court battle. We've got Jesse Miller right here. You're out of the courthouse. You're a free man. Tell me how it feels.
Man, I'm going to tell you how I feel in the morning when I wake up with this lady next to me and these kids come and wake me up. You know, I ain't got to worry about doors clicking and locking and stuff like that. You know, I can open it myself. So,
yes, sir. I mean, this has been a 15-year battle. A half an hour ago, we were up in court. We didn't know which way this was going to go. This has got to be a huge relief for you.
Actually, it is. It's like, man, remember that cloud I said all over some chicken nuggets? You know, that cloud went away. You know what I mean? Cloud is gone.
You've said all along that you were innocent. Your team has said that. What is your message to the victim's family? Obviously, they left very emotional.
Well, like I said earlier, you know, I don't know what to say to the victim family because I'm innocent, you know, true enough, and they don't believe that, you know, because evidently if they did, they wouldn't have been coming to all the proceedings and everything like that, so I don't know what to say to them, you know. I feel bad for what happened to Nick, true enough, you know, but I don't know.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time, sir. Free man now. Enjoy your night. Obviously, very emotional. His family obviously elated. The victim's family leaving, not wanting to talk to the media. They were in tears, but this is the first time he's walked out a free man in years after 3 separate murder trials and 15 years of battling it out in court. So a very emotional day here in downtown West Palm Beach. For now, live in downtown West Palm Beach, Brian Enton, WPTV News Channel 5.
It was like a 15-year process, a few hung juries, a few mistrials, and they finally got him sentenced to life. And then they retrialed the life sentence, and that's when he was found not guilty. The prosecutors lacked evidence, and the evidence they had was weak as hell.
On Wednesday, an appeals court overturned Miller's conviction and ordered a new trial. The court overturned it because of a key piece of evidence. A note left at the scene and the testimony of 2 handwriting experts has now been called into question.
And besides the handwriting, although it is a very strong piece of evidence against him, we did have other evidence in the case, and we do intend to go forward with all the evidence that we have.
Prosecutors say handwriting and DNA connect Jesse Miller to the crime, but the defense has said over the past couple of weeks that the state is desperate and doesn't have the evidence it needs.
All they really had was a motive for the unaliving via the threats Jesse made to Nicholas for getting him fired. They also had a sheet of paper that they found at the crime scene that had a safe combination written on it. The prosecutors tried to prove it was Jesse's handwriting, but the evidence did not stick, and they couldn't prove that Jesse was the trigger man.
The bullet penetrated his scalp, his skull, his brain, and exited in front.
Certainly, a crime such as this deserves to be redressed, and those guilty need to be punished. But it is meaningless unless the right individuals are punished. Jesse Miller is not the right individual.
Now, this is Miller's 3rd trial in McGrath's murder. He was arrested after the 1999 murder, but prosecutors later dropped the charges, and then he was rearrested in 2007, but that trial ended in a mistrial. Obviously, we're going to stay here Anything can happen. We don't know if there will be a verdict coming tonight or tomorrow. What we do know is that obviously that jury needed a break. They should be going back in and going back into the room shortly. Live in West Palm Beach, Brian Hinton, WPTV News Channel 5.
So Jesse became a free man after 15 years. The family of Nicholas McRath were heartbroken about the turnout. They feel like Nicholas didn't get the justice he deserves.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time, sir. Free man now. Enjoy your night. Obviously very emotional. His family obviously elated. The victim's family leaving, not wanting to talk to the media. They were in tears, but this is the first time he's walked out a free man in years after 3 separate murder trials and 15 years of battling it out in court. So a very emotional day here.
The only time the family had a moment of being healed is when Jesse got sentenced to 5 years for drug charges.
What?
Yes, you heard me right. Years later, Jesse ended up getting booked on drug charges. After all that done happened, Chick-Fil-A started being real careful with who they hired. Like, oh damn, we cannot afford another Jesse situation to happen. The people of America gonna start looking at us like Popeyes and Waffle House if another Jesse situation happens. If they don't look like a Disney character and act like a Disney character, we ain't hiring their asses.
And may I have your name?
My name is Cece.
You said CC.
I sure
now,
did.
is that just 2 C's or C-I-C-I?
C-I-C-I.
You better work it now.
Thank you.
Now, Miss CC, welcome to Chick-Fil-A, and how may I serve you today?
Why, thank you. What's your name?
My name is Simeon.
All right, Simeon. And he'll have a lemonade with that.
And a lemonade? All right now. Now,
And
any condiments or sauces with that?
You want sauce? Polynesian, please.
How many would you like?
And we gonna start getting real intense with these background checks. We trying to be like the Disney Channel, not BET. Even though Chick-fil-A put forth their best effort to never hire heathens again, they failed at it. But this time, it wasn't just the employees, it was the managers and owners.
8 on Your Side is digging deeper into a Chick-fil-A owner accused of molesting a young teen.
Heather Matuzek was also a former youth church leader in Clearwater, where she met the victim.
And detectives tell us they don't believe that any of the incident involved happened on the church's campus, but they do believe that there could be more victims. 8 on Your Side went looking for Heather Matuzek after her arrest last night. No one was at her listed address in Dunedin. Randolph Lightfoot lives next door to Clearwater Community Church, where Matuzek used to be a youth leader. She now has a different title: lewd and lascivious molestation. The 32-year-old is also the owner of the Chick-fil-A at Countryside Mall. In a statement, company representatives wrote in part, "This is deeply disturbing news. No one should ever be subjected to this sort of abuse, and we are shocked and saddened by the report."
But unfortunately, this is one of those tragic examples where someone, a predator, gained a position of trust and took advantage of a young 15-year-old girl.
Drove across 4 states to have sex with a Rowan County teenager. The suspect says his biggest concern is his business.
Tuesday, Rowan County authorities found themselves speeding down this road south of Salisbury. 2 reports of a break-in in progress. When they got there, they found the father of a 15-year-old had allegedly caught Stacy Austin inside alone with her child. Rowan County authorities said Austin met the teenager on a social media app. He made plans to pick them up from their house, but decided to stop and hang out inside. Authorities found Austin's underwear in the trash can in the house. They said he admitted he had engaged in sexual acts. His main concern, however, wasn't the charges he was facing. His main concern was 420 miles away in Ohio. Austin was worried he'd lose his job as the owner of a Chick-fil-A in eastern Ohio. According to online records, he's been the owner since 2019.
The hell Chick-fil-A got going on? This the side of Chick-fil-A that Chick-fil-A don't want y'all to see. Well, Chick-fil-A, the jig is up. It's about time for your skeletons to come out the closet. It's deeper than chicken deluxes. It's deeper than waffle chips. You can't chicken biscuit your way out of this one, Chick-fil-A. The employees, the managers, the owners, none of y'all ain't right. All of a sudden, the chicken sandwich don't hit the same no more. I'd rather get a chicken sandwich from churches. At least churches keeping it real. Chick-fil-A ain't keeping it real with they fake asses. All the excellent customer service, the positive reviews, not being open on the Lord's Day, it was all propaganda to cover up the sick crimes that takes place behind closed doors. I'll be damned. Don't let this video steer y'all away from eating Chick-fil-A, cause I'm eating Chick-fil-A right now and it's good as hell. I'm just saying, they be acting like they so much better than Popeyes and churches when it comes to morals, but they're not. They are criminals just like the rest of us. Now excuse me as I finish my chicken sandwich, drizzle in Polynesian sauce.